Tom Nelson here at the Outdoor Line with my favorite crab pot. This is an S.M.I commercial style 36-inch 4-entry tunnel pot and everything we need inside it to rig it up to fish crab. Okay, we got everything we need in here to rig this pot. Let's pull it all out of here and show you how we're going to set this thing up. We have a jumbo super crab float, which I really like because not a lot of people use them, and I know it's my gear. We have the S.M.I kit, complete with 100 feet, another float, and a harness. And incidentally, you can use this mesh bag as a second bait bag. We have the S.M.I bait barrel, which we're going to put our broadcast bait in. Then we got the business end of the bait cage and another bait sock, which is a very great way to armor our bait and make it last a lot longer. Let's put all this together and see how it works. So we're going to use 4 cable ties, and once I put these bait cages in the pot, they just stay there, and it's a nice way to keep the bait cages away from the doors. We want to make sure it's in position so none of the 4 doors are going to hit and get caught on it. Keep in mind when it's fishing, the door will be shut, okay, and so make sure none of the doors are going to hit the cage. So we're going to position the cage so the door lays down flat when we're servicing it, when we're baiting it, and anything else. So we're going to take 4 of these zip ties and get a piece of the mesh and a good corner of the pot wherever those two intersect. We're going to drop a zip tie down there and crank it right up. Alright, so now we got our rigging kit. Let's pop this thing open and go to work. Keep in mind, you want to save this mesh bag because you can use it as a bait bag or something else on board your boat. You always find a use for these things. So we got a large float, we got 100 feet, and we have the pot harness. Pot harnesses are nice because you can snap them off in a big hurry and use them on other types of gear, fishing different lengths. If you want to use longer ropes and use the same gear for shrimping or crabbing, by using the harness, you are pulling that pot up by 4 points of lift, and it will rise flat through the water column as you're pulling on it. So they're very simple. There's your harness. Now, let's open up this rope and put our package together here. So now we got our 100-foot coil of leaded line. It's important to use lead line because it sinks. When it sinks, it's going to be out of the way of other boaters. It's going to pull less on your pot, and your pot's not going to be jumping around down on the bottom. Leaded line is also sized to fit in a lot of pot pullers. It's just the right way to go. Avoid yellow poly like the plague. Tie our floats on. I got a way that's worked for me for years, and I've never lost a float. Okay, 2 fathoms of line. 1, 2. We're going to tie a bowline. So make our little loop. And as we're all taught as kids, the rabbit comes out of the hole, around the tree, and back through the hole. Okay, so there's our standard bowline. Now we're going to finish it with a mountain climbing finish known as the Yosemite Finish. The cool thing about this knot is it is getting constantly tightened by the load end. The tag end is locked by the load end. So now we have this nice long loop. Okay, we're going to take this loop and take our S.M.I super crab buoy, the biggest one available. We're going to run our double link through there, drop it to the knot. We're going to take our only slightly smaller S.M.I buoy, drop those two together. The reason I use 2 is It makes your gear very distinct, and your floats will not go under unless you seriously over-soak the pot. Now I'm going to finish this with a simple figure 8. You could use an overhand knot. Figure 8 has the advantage of being a larger, bulkier knot, so it has less chance of pulling through the buoy hole. So there's a figure 8. So that figure 8 on one end, the Bowline with the Yosemite Finish on the other. It's not going to pull through, it's not going to come undone, and usually this rides to the point that you can get that loop end with a boat hook really quite easily. Very consistent, very nice way to finish off your crab gear. So now I've got the ring on the harness, and we're going to start this off with a clove hitch. So we're going to pull our line through. The line will go to the left side, it'll come back to the right side, and then on through. And there's our clove hitch. Okay? Continue with the tag end through the ring, and we're going to tie a bowline right on top of that clove hitch. Dress that knot, tighten it up, and then of course we can pull the same Yosemite Finish on the top of that. And there's our knot to the pot harness. This is an S.M.I 36-inch commercial style crab pot with 4 entry tunnels. It's all rigged and ready to go. Now, if you wonder what happened to the bait bag and the bait barrel, well, you're going to have to tune in for the baiting video, which we're going to shoot here next.